Be
Yeah, I
patient with
mean,
your
it's
plants.
not going to grow immediately. It's going to take time, and especially if it's your first rodeo,
It's
just
fun.
do some research about it. It's cool. It's kind of therapeutic. I'll
Hmm.
go sit out there and put some music on and go pull some weeds and just chill.
I'm out there watering and pulling weeds, same thing, playing some good old gangster rap, trying to be cool, all gangster water in the garden.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from your favorite brother sister duo, sharing relatable life experiences, some tips and tricks, and a whole lot of stories.
Good
Bueno.
morning. Bueno. Thank you for joining us on a wonderful topic of gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah, today in Chicago, it is going to be a whopping high of 68.
Yeah, it's gonna rain
Interesting.
all day though.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Flood watch. You guys
Yeah,
been
we
getting
had some
hammered
crazy
with.
storms.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
So we've
Yeah.
been having lots of rain, which is good for gardening,
Yep.
but
It's good for gardening, and rainwater is better for your garden than tap water. Precipitation 49%, humidity of 92%, with a whopping 14 miles an hour winds. That is for Chicago, Illinois.
yeah,
Nashville
the wind
today.
gusts were awful yesterday. So
Oh,
Windy
really?
City.
Windy City is right. Today, it is currently in Nashville, 68 degrees, precipitation at 10%, humidity is 60, wind at 9 miles per hour with a high of 85.
We'll see, when this airs if it's, similar weather or not, because I think by this weekend they said we might have a frost. So,
Okay. Well, with that
yeah.
being said, is it better when you're gardening, since you, like in your area, you're having you may have frost, right? So do you
Yeah.
cover, like if you just plant, you're going to start off tomatoes or any kind of vegetables. Do you normally start them off inside during like the late winter, early spring by seeds, or do you just go by the plant?
Usually I just go by the plant. Um, we did one time, I think it was carrots. We bought the seeds, but even then, we didn't plant them till like May. So I have thought about planting them inside, using like an egg carton
Mm,
and putting seeds in each one and having them start to grow. So then that way you can just put them in the ground like that. Not a foam egg carton, the cardboard one or
right.
whatever. It's biodegradable. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm not. Usually, I don't plant at all until almost Memorial Day. Really, to be
Right.
honest, because you just never know with the frosts. And some plants might be hardy enough, but also I'm not going to go out there and go cover everything. Like, I'm just not going to do that because it's so unpredictable sometimes. So,
Right.
like, one day it could be almost 75, and then the next it's, 32. So, it's so back and forth right now that I'm not going to go cover it every couple days or whatever like that. And I don't
No,
know if
makes sense.
the plants in the stores, I don't even know if they have them quite yet, to be honest.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah, here they
vegetables
do.
and stuff like that. Um, I haven't been to check out like what kind of things that they have. I know they have
Hmm.
seeds available, but I don't know if they even have little starter plants yet.
Okay.
But if I did, I would. If there was a good sale or whatever, I would just keep those inside until I'm ready to plant them
Right.
outside.
No, it makes sense. They do here have the plants already out, but we have had some weather that may affect them. But the way I did mine, like in those totes, I can just drag them wherever I need them, right?
Right.
But even so, it's not so much that it's well here. It's not going to get like freezing. It's going to get close,
Right. Right.
But so you can cover them up with like sheets or a bucket
Right.
or
Yeah.
something like that,
Or
or
like
plastics
tarps and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you can protect them. So that's fine too. So.
Yeah, I just choose not to go in. That's just an extra work for me to do, to remember to do, and I'm good.
Right. No, I get that. I totally get that. So I was looking. So Illinois is wow. Okay, so your temperature zones are -15, -10 is usually where y'all sit at. So you're in planting zone 5B, 5 Bravo. And I am in 7 Bravo. So
I'm in the negatives, and you're in the positives. That's lovely.
yeah. Well, we're 5 to 10, according to this USDA.gov planting zone map. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's probably important when you are deciding what to plant and when to plant, for sure.
yeah, so I was getting a little bit ahead there, but I figured I would share that. So, yes, I also, before we even get like too deep into this, rainwater is generally much better for gardens than tap water. It is naturally soft, free from chemicals like chlorine and fluoride. Contains beneficial nitrates that act as a mild fertilizer. While tap water is safe, its alkalinity and minerals can build up over time and negatively affect your soils.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm sure it's different minerals in either.
Yes.
That would make it different.
My wonderful wife, when it rains, it's funny sometimes. It's like we're gonna get a lot of rain, right, or just a good storm. She'll get the buckets out and line them up along the
and
carport.
collect the water.
So you collect the water. So I understand that from that aspect. That hey, that water's a little bit better especially for the garden.
Right.
So. Yeah, that's kind of one of the cool things. But rainwater has high oxygen levels, so it's better for the soil.
Better for the soil than
and the roots and stuff. Yeah, and the ideal pH and nutrients. Rainwater has slight acids, which helps plants absorb nutrients and balances. So, and it's chemical free or soft. Soft. So, that being said.
The way the rain sounded last night, it was not soft sounding. But
no? Did y'all get it hammered?
Yeah. And it was hailing, too. I thought it was going to break the windows. It was crazy.
Really? Mm-hmm. Like, really bad, huh?
Yeah. They were like pea size, but still, like, just with the wind and with the field and stuff, the way that it was hitting. It was crazy.
Well, that's probably not good for gardens and plants either, because it could hurt them.
Yeah.
So that's something else to look for. I didn't think about that till right now. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and especially we've been hammered with so many storms, like the past probably 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Like,
yeah. This past one's been really bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I would even recommend any planting right now for this area, at least, because of so much storms that we've been having, and we're just going to continue because that's what happens for springtime. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll save my planting. But instead, we can share some planting tips that we have.
Yep. Remember with the weather you're having and all the rain. Mm-hmm. Turn around and don't drown. So don't go and drive and flood watch or flood areas. You're under a flood watch, so if it's flooded, there's water over and you can't see the road, turn around so you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
drown. Okay.
Yeah, we're not too close to the river, but yeah, definitely avoiding that. There's a huge puddle by Jackson's school, which I don't understand why it's not like doesn't go down, but anytime it rains, it's bad.
Oh,
And like today on the way to school, it was real bad. Like you really have to avoid it because
Wow. Okay.
it's a little pool for the children probably right now.
Interesting. Okay.
And they do the street sweepers all the time, so it's like it's not like there's a bunch of leaves build up or anything.
Right.
Like I've seen the street sweeper like once a week, literally by the school. So,
Right.
so I don't.
She started talking to me for some odd reason.
She wanted to butt in the conversation, but yeah. Craziness. Anyway, I have a list of like different plants or fruits and vegetables that is some are better to grow together and some are not, as I've learned.
Is avocado a fruit or a vegetable?
I would say vegetable, but it's considered a fruit.
It is a fruit, yeah.
Just like
I
tomatoes.
find that odd.
Tomatoes are considered a fruit also.
Yes.
Because they said, which I don't get because it says that it has a seed inside. Okay, well, so do cucumbers. Is that a fruit? So do zucchinis. So do any kind of squash, really. All of them have seeds inside.
Green beans.
Yeah. So are those all considered fruits?
I don't know. Interesting. Had to look that up.
Because, yeah, I remember that I said that things that had seeds are fruit, or inside. But, I don't know. So, whatever you choose, if it's a fruit or vegetable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's definitely some that you should avoid growing together, I would say. Because certain plants sometimes can hog the oxygen in the soil, or they can hog the water. Some roots are more powerful than others. So tomatoes are a huge one. Tomatoes will take over all of the dirt. Not necessarily like the roots are crazy, but that they will absorb more of the water with anything else that it's in. So those you want to be careful with what you put next to it. Basil, carrots, onions, and lettuce is probably, it says, the best combo if you want to put tomatoes. But last time I think I just put my tomatoes by themselves in a pot, actually. So that way I avoided that situation in general.
Right.
I put it in a pot, and I did still put it in my raised garden because I had a spot that I just put it in there. So then that way it was still with all of its other plant friends, and so I can water them all at the same time.
Interesting.
But it didn't hog, all of the soil for it, and it did just fine in the pot. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just what I experienced with the tomatoes because they are ruthless. Rude.
Yeah, I did mine last year in a separate raised bed. As you say, I did them separate from my peppers, and I put them in there with the strawberries.
Oh.
And yeah, I got like one tomato out of two tomato plants.
Really?
Yeah, so.
I would have thought the tomato would have took over rather than.
No, but the ones I've got this year growing, I think I took some pictures. I'll include those in there. The tomato plants look beautiful, and it was really weird because tomato plants down at the bottom have like that looks like fur sticking out.
Yeah.
Right. So if those are in the soil, will actually start vining out into roots. So if you can get your tomato plant already bought from the store, depending on how tall it is, but you want to get the bottom little twigs, branches out of them, cut those off, and then plant it deeper so it has more of a
Has
bigger
more.
of a root system. Yeah, it
I
usually works out
see.
pretty. And then like the like peppers, like serranos and jalapenos. If you cut the bottom ones off too, so it has more of the strength and vitamins that it needs, it goes to the top, right?
Right.
And then the main stem at the top, right before it starts branching out, cut it off right there. And this way it'll get more bushier. You should get, quite a bit more. So you might have like 10 peppers on a plant that you didn't trim, but one that you
Right.
did trim, you'll get like 20 or 30 peppers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that usually works out really well. If you trim them up while you're planting them or shortly after, it works out really good.
Good to know.
Yeah. And while you're out planting, it is nice to wear some clothes that is breathable and thin and UV block.
Yeah, that's
It's-
nice.
Yeah, put some
and long
sunscreen on.
sleeves,
Long
so you don't get all
sleeves.
scratched up.
You don't get
My
scratched
arms
up.
Probably. I don't know
Yeah.
if you could see anymore. Mine were all scratched up because I did not. So
And then a nice little Gilligan hat. As if it rains, you can catch the water in it up here and then bend over and it. No, just kidding. But no.
you're so special. It's so hard to even listen to you right now with the hat looking like that.
But no, wear a hat, cover your ears and your neck and stuff like that from the
Yeah,
sun
protect
as
your
much as you
skin
can. Yeah, protect your
while
skin.
you're-
Put some sunscreen on. Even if it's cloudy, you get more of a chance of getting more burnt when it's cloudy.
I've got burnt with clouds. So
Yeah.
it's definitely more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
Take care of
wear clothes
yourself.
anyways. So wear something
You
that's
do?
comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, you do. Wear something that's comfortable and it's gonna protect you. I got this pretty inexpensive at Costco. And if it gets wet, which you're gonna be watering plants or whatever the case is, if it gets
Right.
wet, it dries up really easy. So, or if you sweat, it dries up really quick. So, do that, and then, like I said, your hat, just cover up.
Yes.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic, but I just want to make
I
sure
mean, it
people
was on topic-ish.
Yeah,
Still,
So.
you just care about the people.
that's right.
That's
I care about
important.
everybody. So,
That's very kind of you. You're so sweet. Oh, thank God you took that off. Now I could take you more. I could just actually have the conversation and not just be staring at you.
is that
Not
better?
wanting to, yes. I wanted to laugh at you so hard, but I didn't.
It's okay. It's
It
okay.
was hard.
So, planting plants, companion plants, combinations, vegetables, and fruits. Make sure they do grow well together, because if they don't, like Lisa was saying, one will take over the other one as far as
Yeah.
nutrients, water, just
Space.
space.
Also.
Yeah. So
I made a mistake and had, cucumbers with, what did I have? I don't remember. Cucumbers and something else. And yeah, the cucumber vine just kept going and going. And I had cucumber and broccoli together. So poor broccoli
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
stand a chance. In
No,
the
it
beginning,
didn't.
it was great. But then, yeah, it took over. So, yeah, you definitely want to, like you said, the space and the soil and all of that.
Yep. So tomatoes, you can pair with basil, carrots, onions, and lettuce. Benefits: basil helps repel pests and improve flavor. Flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Avoid corn and potatoes. They search a disease. Okay. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But
Yeah,
I'm
so-
not growing those, but yeah. So I'm
did-
surprised they didn't have other ones to avoid tomatoes with, but
Yeah, that's a That's kind of odd too.
I feel like maybe just do your research if you're going
Yeah,
to be
for
doing
sure.
certain plants. See if they will work well together because this little list I have found is pretty basic. So it doesn't list a whole bunch of information on what's goes well together. It's a few things, but
I'm gonna
do
try
your
some
own
basil with
research.
mine. I'm gonna try some
Yeah,
basil with mine. I would,
I
you know,
wonder
just
if
for.
it does give it a little bit more of a flavor because
I
basil
wonder.
is strong smelling.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, really, we don't use a whole lot of basil that I know of.
Neither do
But
we. That's why I don't. I want to grow it, but I just feel like it's gonna be a waste. So.
right, right. Well, that I just want to do it for the pests. That's the
Well,
biggest.
yeah, actually, yeah. If that's a thing, then that might be a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. I may do that because even like for my peppers, I can do a little bit of basil around the edges or something of the planter.
Yeah,
You know,
so
so
do like a little like a fencing around it a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe it'll
might as
keep
well.
Marley away from it too. So who knows?
Probably not. She'll
Probably
eat
not.
it. Like, ooh, that tastes good.
So, what's the most common things that people grow? I feel that it's tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers. Is probably the most common.
And carrots, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not as much, but I feel like people
Right.
try to grow them.
Yeah, we tried them, and they just came out like they were deformed, and yeah.
Oh yeah, they're crazy looking,
And they were babies.
so chubby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were ours. I'm thinking, I was digging it out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I break it? I'm like, nope, that's just how
That's it.
big it is. Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that one in a long time. Carrots. That was like a couple years ago. I did that one. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again with Jackson and do it from a seed. So maybe just for a funsies,
Right.
planting with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if I do carrots, I have to avoid. It says to pair it with onions, leeks, or tomatoes.
Yep. So put them with your tomatoes.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Which is really, I think I wouldn't think they would grow together because
I wouldn't
tomatoes and carrots take a lot of water.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this list is pretty basic. So, like
Right.
I said, do your own research on maybe certain types of vegetables and fruits also. But
Yeah, and I just did one plant of big boy tomatoes and 2 Romas. And the reason I did the Romas is because I did the peppers, the hot peppers,
Right, for some
to make
salsa.
salsa. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to eat more of that this year. More salsa. It's good, just good
but you
for
can
you.
can it.
Yeah,
So or jar it, whatever they say.
yeah. Put it in little freezer bags too. Like if you're gonna make a dish or whatever, you can just use that.
True.
So and you can
Have it
freeze
for
your
the
peppers.
whole year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good
I
one.
have zucchini still saved. That's frozen.
Oh really?
That I had.
Huh. Okay. So with that being said, you can go carrots can pair with onions and leeks and tomatoes, like Lisa said. Cucumbers, beans, peas, and radishes. Benefits: radishes deter cucumber beetles. Huh.
Oh, and those are annoying. Those are
I don't think I've
beetles.
ever noticed them.
They're usually on the underside of the leaves.
Oh,
They're tricky little guys.
con razón. I didn't know that. I
Yep.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yep.
Huh. All right. So that's a go. I'm looking up cucumber beetles to see what they look like.
Yeah, they're actually kind of cool looking. That
Oh, yeah,
they have
yellow
like a
and black?
bluish, yeah,
bluish,
or
yeah.
some have a little bluish kind of tint to it. But yeah, they usually
Oh,
would
yeah.
hide underneath the leaf.
Huh.
And then the one time I was like, "What is that?" And there was a whole bunch of little eggs. I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh
So I had
yeah.
an infestation of them.
Oh, I wonder if that was what was on my peppers.
Maybe.
Because there was like a bunch of little black spots on the leaves.
Very well could have been.
So okay. So yeah, you can do the. Just watch out for the cucumber beetles. Lettuce pair with carrots, radishes, and strawberries. Interesting. Some too water hungry. Lettuce is really water hungry.
Yeah. I
What's
grew
up?
lettuce twice, but those things, yeah, when it rained and stuff, holy cow, that thing grew so fast.
Really?
And then it was towering, like it was 2 feet tall of the lettuce. Like it was crazy. But you gotta
What
make sure
was?
you got the lettuce.
Really?
It grew like a tree, like it grew up. It
What?
was huge. Yeah.
Huh. I figured it would grow like laid on the ground.
No, that's cabbage, I think.
Interesting.
But yeah, it kept just like getting taller and taller. But then the only downside of that though, it was getting bitter. You had to pull the
Oh,
lettuce leaves quickly because then it got bitter. So it seemed like the taller it got, the more bitter it got. So maybe because, how far away it was from the
right.
nutrients from the ground. I'm not exactly sure, but I tried it twice. I don't think I would do it again just because of how bitter it got, or how
Right.
quickly it got bitter. And yeah, as it grew taller, it was not the best tasting. So
Huh. Okay.
it was fun to try, but
Oh yeah, for
I always
sure.
like to try growing different things just to see how it goes, especially because our soil is so good, being by the farm. But yeah,
Right.
no, I'm good on the lettuce. I'll
And
just buy
lettuce
mine.
grows well in the shade from taller plants. Huh. I didn't
Which is
realize that.
interesting because mine didn't have any
Shade.
shade at all. It was like direct sun. And that thing grew. Like I said, it was like
Maybe that's
almost
why
two
it was
feet
bitter.
tall. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Peppers. Pair with basil, onions, and spinach.
Oh,
Benefits. Basil helps deter insects. Avoid beans. Huh.
so
Can't
yeah,
interfere with growth.
you should put some basil then for sure
Yeah.
with your
On,
peppers
yeah, I'm
and
going
your
to.
tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, might as well try it.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid
Yeah.
of some yucky
So
tomatoes.
when you buy yours in the plant already formed, right?
Right.
When you plant them, do you like look at the tags and say, okay, this one's gonna be 8 inches wide, so I need to do another one. Do you like really pay attention to that?
Yeah,
Do you?
because after making the mistake of having the cucumbers and the broccoli together,
Yeah.
I realized how important the spacing is
Right.
real quickly. So, yeah.
Do you
And
break
to
up the
see
soil of like when it's in a cup?
when it in the
Yeah,
cup,
you break
yeah.
it up, do you?
Hmm.
See, I'm a believer that I don't break it up, and I don't know
See,
if that
I've heard that it damages the roots if doing that, but
right,
then I also heard that it helps give it oxygen or whatever because
right,
it's stuck in the container for who knows how long.
right.
So I don't know which
Yeah, I don't
one
know
is
either.
necessarily
I do
better.
use compost with it, so I don't know if that helps it.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know. I just that's just the way I've always done it. So
Yeah, I mean, if it works
maybe that's
for
why I
you,
don't
it
have
works.
success. I don't have that
Yeah,
much.
maybe.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just all depends. It's
Yeah,
like my peppers are suffering right now. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I
grab
almost
some
made
basil.
the. Well, I was going to say I do want to point this out. I almost made a mistake. I was thinking that if I put some mulch on top of the soil,
Hmm.
one to keep some of the weeds out, right, and then the other
Right.
one was to trap moisture down on the plants. Well,
Hmm.
the Home Depot has that mulch special right now going on. Well, the one I
Right.
got was brown. I almost ripped it open and dumped that bag over around the plants, and I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't, because that mulch has dye in it, right?
Right.
So I didn't want it to soak in. So I was like,
To seek
almost,
in.
yeah. So alternatively, which I haven't done yet, is I've got pine needles all around my house from the pine trees,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I think I'm going to use that.
Pine needles are even like maybe little like sticks, that
Mm-hmm.
break up from the
Yeah.
trees and stuff
Yeah.
to help keep it.
So I
Or
may do
maybe
that.
even like hay. I don't know. Maybe
They
just
say
a
you can
little
use
bit.
straw. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one. So, and cardboard, as long as it doesn't have, depending. I don't like using the cardboards. I don't know where the glue comes from
Yeah.
or what's in that for one. And then most of the cardboard, it's hard to get cardboard that doesn't have any
Like
color in it.
color or like a wax coating and stuff
Yeah,
on it.
so
Yeah, I would avoid that. You know, if
yeah,
you're trying to grow your own fruits and vegetables, you're trying to be more organic, you know,
right.
basically. So, yeah, I would just try to avoid that kind of thing
Yeah.
in
Now
general.
back in the day, they used to use cardboard and newspaper, and I'm like,
I would
oh
say
my god.
newspaper. I remember Dad said that they use newspaper sometimes
Yeah.
because he had told me to use newspaper to help with the weeds or something,
Right.
and just to help keep it like warm for the frost stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
good.
want to use it with a dye. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's a that'll be a good one too to make sure that what you use, you can just think about it first because I almost made that boo boo myself.
Well,
So,
yeah, that's
mhm.
understandable one because you don't think
And you
about
can,
it.
I'll send you the pictures and we can include those in our media pages so you can see the the way I did mine. So, be a good one to
Yeah,
have.
I see your totes.
And I did my
Share.
organization in the garden area of our room.
No, very nice.
Yeah, so that's good. It came out really nice. So I'll send you some photos of that. So while you're doing this gardening, it's also to make sure that you keep your tools clean,
Yeah.
keep your shovels sharp. After you get done using them, wash them off so you can store them. So you're not bringing that dirt back in your garage or your shed or whatever. So keep those clean. And also, if the containers that when you buy your plants, if they're biodegradable, you can use those to
Yeah.
plant as well. You know, if the cup thing is biodegradable, just plant the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely you can. That's why they're like that. So some of them are in the plastics, obviously don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of them now I feel like are biodegradable for that purpose, you
Right.
know.
Yeah,
So
I got the
it
ones
might
I got
cost a
for
little bit
plant.
more, I think, those plants though
Yeah,
do.
but I
But
think
I
it's
mean,
worth it. I think it's worth it personally. I think that cardboard, that biodegradable cardboard they use, right, will hold moisture better too.
yeah, it definitely does.
So that's a better option. The ones I got were plastic cups, so I just took them out of the plastic cups and then planted them. You can keep a couple of those. I like using them inside the soil bags or the compost bags. You can
Oh,
use
yeah,
those cups
like
to
a
scoop
scoop.
the. Yeah, that's what I use them for. Or like this coming up winter or whatever, you can use those same cups. Put your seeds in those, and you can grow your own if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Another option is when you do grow those, grow your own vegetables or fruits. You can use whatever kind of cup or container. Get you a smart plug or whatever, right? And put your grow light plugged into that. So you don't have to think about it. It's a consistent thing. So I did it before in a grow light and a cooler with aluminum foil to reflect all the light into it. I mean, I like really went like pretty
Wow,
far.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
really
yeah, it didn't work out well. So I never did it again.
but you tried.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what matters.
But yeah, do the grow light thing on a smart plug, which I didn't have a smart plug when I was doing it in my cooler, so I might have forgotten a couple days and probably got smothered. It's just didn't work out well. So do
yeah,
it.
that's a commitment for sure
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that.
So that's a good way to do it too. For next year, you can reuse those plastic cups if you wanted to. Or, the other option too is if you're going to grow your own. Last year, my peppers did really, really well. I had some ginormous freaking jalapenos. They were huge. They were like, some of them were like 2 inches around, like 3 or 4 inches tall or long, right? So I kept some of the peppers and let them dry up a little bit, and then I opened them up and took the seeds.
Yeah.
So I can, so I had some just in case if I
Right.
lost a
No,
plant.
no, yeah, that's a good idea.
So
Definitely.
the bad thing is I did the same thing with serranos, right?
Oh no. And you
So-
mixed them up.
I mixed them up. So this year, when I was planting my plants, when I took them from inside to outside, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna put a couple of seeds here, a couple of seeds here. So I might have some crossbreed Serrano jalapenos going on.
Hella serranos.
Hell of serranos, hell of a serrano. So yeah, so you can do that too. And then that's like really going on vegetables. Fruits are also a fun item to grow. For the one reason I like doing it is because you can really enjoy your fruit and labor per se. No pun intended. You're such a dork.
Cue the ding ding ding. Exactly.
Because so we have blackberries and strawberries. Our strawberries are just so tiny that we don't get enough of them to enjoy, right? But like our blackberries, I can go out there when I'm eating, especially when I'm cutting the grass. I'll go around the blackberry bush and I'll grab me a couple and
have a little
eat
snack.
Have a little snack.
Okay,
Marley.
Jackson.
Yeah. Marley does the same thing, but she goes over and grabs like a whole clump
Wow.
and takes off. And I try to.
Yeah.
So she does the same thing with the strawberries. So we actually fenced in the strawberries, one from her and the birds, because they were destroying them.
The birds love them too.
So that's the kind of thing I like about fruits. We had pear trees in the back, but they were so bitter. Yeah, we did. And between Princess and Marley, our last lab, black lab we had, Princess, she would go out there and eat them. And just go around the whole tree and just eat them off the ground, right? And they would both get so sick. They'd be puking and diarrhea. It was just it was horrible.
Actually, I remember now that you say that.
I just cut them down. Plus, they weren't really edible because they were so tart or bitter. Yeah, they were horrible.
Yeah.
So we quit doing. I cut those down and got rid of them. But like people who have apples, especially like oranges and avocados.
I wish I could have those.
Oh my goodness!
I wish I could have an avocado tree, an apple tree, orange tree. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Your own little orchard going on.
Heck yeah, I wish. That would be the dream.
Man, if I had avocados, oh my god.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
that would be...
a friend of mine who I used to work with, he moved to Nashville from California, and they had avocado trees and lemon trees, and he's like, it was so nice, and I'm like, I bet to have that,
sure.
yeah,
to just have that any time that you need them, like,
oh
yeah, I would eat like avocado a day.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was like really funny though. It was like when I sit down, I usually have 2 tacos. Right, when I have tacos, right? So I usually have 2 of them. But it's like I put 2 slices of avocado per taco.
Right.
So it's almost like a half of a freaking avocado.
Well, that's how it is like when I do my avocado toast. I do a half of avocado basically on one piece of toast. So in 2 days, 1 avocado is gone. So,
right. Yeah. So
I would like to have that.
So for you people who have avocado trees and apple trees and orange trees and lemon trees and that type of stuff,
we are jealous.
We are jealous. The other good tree that's be really good is a pecan tree.
Oh, I'm not a big pecan person.
Oh, I love pecans. Yeah, I like them. Kim buys them with when they're just dry, no salt, no nothing on them, just clean. She'll buy them like that, and I'm like, they're still good. Don't get me wrong, but man, I like a little bit of sea salt on them or whatever. Oh yeah, they're good. But so we are jealous for the guys that can have like a lot of fruit trees. You know what I would like to have is a cherry tree.
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
A cherry tree would be really good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have a cherry tree. So,
tasty.
So fruits and fruit-like plants. Strawberries pair with what? Spinach, lettuce, and bush beans. That's really weird. Spinach, lettuce, and bush beans. Benefits: ground cover helps retain moisture. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and avoid cabbage family. Yeah, they do. So okay, interesting.
My strawberries are just by themselves because they kind of just took over, and because I wanted to have a decent amount.
Right. How many strawberry plants do you have? Would you start off with?
Well, I started off with probably 6.
Oh, Lord.
And then they just, branch off. They and branch off and do more and more and more. But then when we had our little infestation, they
Your buddies? Your little furry buddies?
yeah, they definitely killed a bunch of them because they uprooted a whole bunch of the
Oh,
plants.
yeah.
So I lost quite a few of them, and they were established for many, many years, I would say, because since when we first moved here, they, maybe 2020, I think maybe is when I first started the strawberries. So, and those come back every year, so I don't have to really maintain them, which is good for me. Less maintenance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started off with 6, maybe. Yeah, I would say 6 then, and then they just kept multiplying and multiplying. So I didn't need to buy any more of those plants, every year. But then the past 2 years, I've definitely bought more. We'll see how it is. I cleaned up the strawberry area. I took up all my hay and all that to have them breathe better. There's not that many plants right now, but there is green, so that's positive. So I may have to buy 1 or 2 more to help, but I'm gonna wait till I still have plenty of time until towards the end of May anyway. So hopefully we'll get some more branches off in there. But.
Yeah, so that's strawberries, melons. Those are good to have for fruits.
Yeah, raspberries. Well, I did a blueberry bush and a raspberry bush. I don't recommend putting them together because the raspberry bush, those are wild. They are their own breed. They are crazy. They root up everywhere. I have a raised bed with the raspberry bush in it, and I have raspberry sprouts like from the bush outside the raised bed now. So it's
okay.
It has gone insane. I have to trim it down every spring, but even in the fall I trim it down before it gets too cold. I trim it down. I just trimmed it last week, I believe, because it already is going insane. So my poor blueberry bush and my raspberry bush I planted at the same time. My blueberry bush is 3 sticks. So that one is going to just be taken out because it has usually the bushes, the raspberry bush and blueberry bush, it takes 2 to 3 years to establish any fruit anyway. So I thought, oh, well, maybe the blueberry bush is just a little slower. It's okay. But last year, I think, I had 1 blueberry.
Oh, wow.
And then I was so excited with this blueberry, and then a bird came and took it. So I didn't even get to try it.
That's funny.
So I wish I could do the blueberry. Maybe I'll see if I could put it in a different area because the raspberry bush is so aggressive that maybe it took over all of the nutrients. But even if I do a blueberry bush, the disappointing thing is that I won't get any fruit from it still for another 2 more years. So I don't know.
Yeah, ours took a while, but
raspberries,
it
went ham and it's crazy, but we get so many. So like you said earlier about going and just go grabbing some blackberries, the raspberry bush, you could just go do that. Jackson will do that. We'll go like after school or whatever when it's I guess it's not in season, but we'll go after running errands or whatever and just go grab a couple.
Yeah.
We would pick them in the evening usually after dinner when the sun is not as hot because that's what they said to do. So we'd pick the strawberries. We'd pick up any fruit produce that we had grown, and yeah, I'd bring bowls out to collect, and I'm like, did I collect any, or did you eat them all? Like, didn't we just eat dinner? And then I would have like just a couple of raspberries in little container because he ate them all. So, which is good because obviously that's fruit and that's healthy. But
Right. No,
yeah,
that's good. And that's the fun part about it. You get to enjoy it as you're growing it.
exactly.
So, what other what other tips can you give us?
So yeah, I had a couple that I've encountered over the years, I guess. For if you're going to be planting any seeds in the ground, you instead of digging, a whole bunch of little holes, and you're not out there with a measuring tape to see how far apart each little hole is. If your dirt is your soil is soft but not like too hard, if you take a muffin tin and just push it
Oh,
down into the
you little
soil.
cheater.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to have it, like I said, if you're not going to
Yeah.
measure, if it says to be within so many inches apart from each other, I'm not getting my ruler out, and it's just so much easier. So yeah, just push it down into the soil, and then lift it back up, and then you'll have the little dug in holes for your seeds to go right in. And just put them
That's
in there,
interesting. Yeah. Good,
cover them back up.
good one.
Done.
Good one. Good,
Easy.
good,
Easy
good one.
peasy.
That's a good one.
Also, thank you.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Also, like I mentioned earlier, though, if you are going to plant from seeds too, you can put it in the biodegradable egg cartons. So then you can just put those directly into the ground. So put your little seed in there, your dirt, and have that growing in your house. When you're ready, you can just cut them up and put them in there, or literally you could take them out of the little egg cartons if you want, but that's just an easier way of planting them. The other one, this is for when oh no, actually I want to say if you grow mint, please put it in a pot. You'll thank me later. That's an out of control plant as well.
Mine won't grow
In a pot,
anywhere.
mint won't grow.
It'll grow, but it's just like a couple of little twigs, and that's about it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had mint in my garden. When we first moved, they already had mint in there. They had basil in there. That was great, sure, whatever. But then I'm like, whoa, that mint, it became a bush. It was huge. I'm like, I can only drink so many mojitos. Like, I don't know what else to do with this.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I dug that out and I put it in a big pot, and we're good there now because that will, I guess, not an Oscars situation, but
Yeah.
from everybody else I've talked to, they said that mint is
Oh, I've heard the same thing.
go
Because
crazy.
I wanted to sprinkle it all over my yard. So when I cut the grass, it smells like mojitos.
Smells nice. Oh, that would
Yeah.
smell nice.
No.
That
Yeah,
would smell nice. Actually, I one time
Keep some
too,
mosquitoes away.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's why I wanted to put it in a pot also, so I could have it on the patio, like when we're sitting outside. I have thought about doing making a tea with the leaves, like a peppermint tea. I did eat a mint leaf one time when I had an upset stomach. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
it kind of helped. I don't
Yeah,
know if
keep
it
the-
did or not, but
Yeah, keep mint in the pot. I have heard that because it does take over, and I have not had that experience. I can only wish for that, but it's okay. The other one is start small, right?
well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't want to overcommit. Say you want to plant 10 things, and gardening you do have to maintain it. Like, it's not something you just put in the ground and then you just walk away and just wait for produce
Right.
to start producing. Like, you still have to check on it. You have to water it. You have to, pull weeds from it, from the area. So it's not just a thing you just put it there and, come back in
Right.
5 to 7 business days. Like, you have to keep checking it and watering it. So, yeah, I wouldn't overcommit if you are new to gardening. Just pick,
Right.
a couple easy things. Tomatoes are easy.
And
Pick things that you enjoy, obviously, too.
right,
But
and plan it because you definitely don't want to have to reach over a tall plant to get to a short plant. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely
think
that.
your
And
thought process on there.
right, and make sure to plant it not too late in the season. So if you plant something too late in the season, then it's not going to produce its fruit or vegetable, till
Right.
much later on, or it might not at all. So
Right.
that's important as well.
Nope. Very, 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 very true. And know your sunlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what
Yeah.
direction it's
Just like
coming
the
from.
little tags, it does say, full sun, direct sun,
Yeah.
shade, whatever, those things are important. I mean, it
Yeah.
just seems like a little tag, but you do want to, it will help your fruit or vegetable grow better if you follow that.
Yeah.
I mean, because, yeah, if it's something that needs shade and it's in the direct sun, well, then that poor plant is going to be fried and
Yeah. It's
you
gonna
won't
be
get
like
anything.
it's gonna be like a little redhead on the beach. It's gonna burn up.
Excuse me. Don't burn up. Thank you very much.
No, but you don't want to plant your stuff in the shade. So, kind of just watch out in your area, in your home, whatever, wherever you're going to plant to see if that area is going to get sunlight or if it's shaded. So kind of pay attention on that as well.
Pay attention before, correct?
Right, and also water smart, right? Mm-hmm. So do you just go in there and like pour a gallon per plant?
No.
So be smart about that. Water deeply.
Well, and the time of the day too when you water. You don't want to water when it's super hot.
Yeah.
Water early in the morning, or like I said, we do it in the evening. 'Cause after dinner, we check the plants, see if there's anything we need to pull, and we water. Well, Jackson waters because that's his little job. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely morning or evening watering. But yeah, don't drench them,
Right.
because then that's obviously not going to be.
And you don't have to water daily or frequently. The more frequently you water, the less chance of your root growth to grow deeper and stronger. So, when you
safe
water,
words.
water very thoroughly. So, make sure you do that. Avoid soaking the leaves, prevent diseases. A good rule is soil should feel like it's wrung out sponge, not dry or muddy.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't want it muddy because then that's when like the slugs and stuff start coming too.
So, like my peppers and tomatoes, I stick my finger, since the soil is really loose, since I use compost and topsoil and all that with it, I stick my finger down in the soil, and if my tip of my finger is, moist, then I don't water it. And then, so I can kind of like, I did that yesterday, so the next day I don't have to, but the day after that, I'll water it, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just give it a good watering. So right now it's going about every 4-ish days is what I'm watering.
Okay.
So you'll start learning your schedule of like when to
Right.
water.
Yeah. I mean, and then if it rains and stuff, obviously that depends. You won't have to rain. So I mean, yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of use your judgment. I mean, it's not too hard to figure that stuff out.
Use good soils. Plants do not grow well in clay. They do
no,
grow in clay sometimes, but use
not-
good soil.
Yes. That's
Even if you're going to do it in the ground, and you've got a lot of clay. You can pull some of that clay out and then put some compost and topsoils in there.
Yep.
And even if you mix up some of your clay in there, it'll start breaking down that clay. especially if you
Yes.
put lime and stuff in there with it. So you can kind of prep
Right.
your soils to get a little bit healthier soil or a better soil for your fruits and vegetables. That's a good thing to do. You can feed your plants. Before I go there, don't overcrowd your plants, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like we said, I
Yeah.
mean, you thought it was funny about the muffin tin thing, but you do want
It
to pay attention to the
works.
spacing. The
It works.
spacing is super important. Because otherwise, if they're overcrowded, like I said before with my cucumbers and broccoli, the poor broccoli in the beginning was going great, but then once that cucumber started vining, the broccoli was covered
Right.
and shaded, so it didn't stand a chance anymore. So yeah, make sure you check your spacing for sure.
And feed your plants. Give them some food. They're going to give you food. Give them food. Just try to stay clear of Miracle Grows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're trying to
You're
stay
eating it.
organic and
Yeah.
and being more natural, yeah, you don't really want to use chemicals.
No, I use banana peel juices,
Banana peel juices, eggshells, coffee grounds. I mean, there's a lot of different
charcoal.
things that go well with certain plants too. So, I mean, just do your research for that. But yeah,
the dust, the ashes from like a fire
The
pit,
I was gonna say
coals and
from a
stuff,
coal or-
fireplaces
yeah.
and stuff like that. You can use that. So that's a good one. I actually use the one out of my grill
Smoker?
too.
Oh,
Mhm,
grill.
or yeah. So you can use that. That'll help out give your plants a little bit of nutrients and stuff that they need. Watch out. Some plants can't take the ash. Some plants can.
right.
So kind of just look before you just start throwing it on there. So
Yeah, just I mean, yeah, you can Google compost. You know what compost goes best with whatever plant.
yeah. Let me see. And the other one is watch out for little
Little buggies,
bugs,
little critters.
little critters.
I do have a tip for that one. Well, that I've used for my two
If you grow
things.
snails, you can just take crackers out with you.
Ew, that's so nasty. Gross. For the earlier how we talked about the cucumbers and having those beetles,
Right.
they're called the Japanese beetles. And if you just take like a spray bottle and just put some soap in there, and it's soapy water, natural, spray that on them, and they will go away. They don't like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So that's an easy, pest spray that's, not killing them necessarily. It's just making them go away, and it's okay for you to eat those. One
Yeah,
other
speaking
one,
about that, Marley ate a whole bar of dial soap.
Oh, well, maybe her poop will smell nice.
Her belly's been upset for 2 days now.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of bubbles in there. Poor thing. Oh, Marley.
Yeah.
Isn't there anything she doesn't eat? She hasn't
really.
eaten, I feel like.
She's got to taste everything. So
She's like, for real, the Marley in the movie Marley and Me.
Uh-huh.
That's just,
Yeah.
it must be the name.
It must
Anybody
be.
have a dog named Marley, and that's just crazy because
yeah,
I feel like it's the name.
yeah. But watch out for the bugs.
Yeah, slugs. With my strawberries, I was getting lots of slugs. So I did a lot of research on how to get rid of them naturally because I, again, want to eat the strawberries straight from the ground. I don't want to be putting chemicals on them. So what I found that worked is if you cut the bottoms and tops of water bottles, so make it like a little cup, and you would basically dig a hole that has that ground level, and then you pour some beer in there in the evening time. So again, this was like an evening time routine. Like I'm saying, this is commitment when
Well,
you're growing stuff.
So you're taking a beer out with you?
I mean, yeah. So if you're gonna drink one, you might as well. No, but I mean, you could. you could share a beer with the slugs, I guess. So they don't really care. I mean, I think I used the cheaper beer too, like a
You
Coors
didn't give
Light
us
or
an
something.
IPA?
I didn't give them an IPA. No, they don't deserve $8 beers or whatever. But yeah, it was just something cheaper. And in the evening time, pour some beer in each of the little cups. I'll
Flush with
share.
the soil so they fall in
Yeah,
there?
I'll share a picture of what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Okay.
the little cup needs to be flushed with the soil. But the beer and put beer in there. What is it? Something in the beer attracts them, so they go crawl in there instead of eating the strawberries. And then in the morning time, I would check them, and it was wild how many slugs were in them. So, I
Good
mean,
tip.
yes, it does kill them, but I wanted to eat my strawberries. So,
Good tip.
sorry, guys. But yeah, it was a huge saver because yeah, otherwise we would be trying to eat strawberry and then there's a slug on it. Like we'd be picking it, and Jackson would like to eat them right away, and yeah. So yeah, don't. That's my strawberry tip.
Okay. Prune, 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 prune. Any yellow, yucky looking leaves or stems, trim them off because all they're doing is taking energy from the rest of the plant. So,
Correct.
yeah, just prune them. You're out there picking the fruit, anyways. I use a pair of electrician scissors that called snips to get my peppers and whatever, and that's why I know it's a clean break, not just
Yeah.
using your fingernail and tearing it apart. Or
No, yeah, I use just like a little handheld.
yeah, whatever works, whatever you got, use that for pruning and picking. So make sure you do that. Also, most important thing: plant, plant, plant in the right time. Because if you put a plant out there too early or too late, like Lisa was saying, you're not going to get the fruit, or it's going to get frostbite, whatever the case is, right? Yeah. And some plants take longer to produce, so you want to start growing those earlier, get them in the ground, so when they start producing, they're at the right time of the year.
Correct. That's why,
So,
some people will start the seeds indoor and then put it outdoor.
right. That's kind of what I've done before. Also, mulch. Mulch, right? But do not, it's up to you.
Well, yeah.
Don't use stuff that's got dyes in it. I wouldn't, but if that's what you want to do, that's cool. That's your prerogative, right?
Yeah.
But mulch is going to keep your soil moist level so you don't have to water as often, right? And then it reduces weeds.
Yep.
And the most important part is it'll regulate the temperature of the soil, right? Lisa made these notes for us, and I mean, she's hit every one like perfect.
Thank you.
So the soil is a dark color, so it's going to absorb heat, right? And then at nighttime it cools off. Right? So if you put mulch or something on it to regulate the temperature, it's going to stay cooler longer, which can be better for your plant and your roots. And it's not going to dry your soil out. It's just a way better thing to do. I have not done that yet.
Fry them out.
Right.
Fry them like in the direct sun, like we were talking about earlier. So,
I haven't done that yet, which I'm like really need to do that.
especially
so-
there, I feel like you get hot, like your
Oh my God,
temperature
yeah.
is hot quickly. You have a longer hot summer. Ours is
Yeah.
not as hot and long, but so yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea for your plants to help keep them
Yeah.
cool.
You really want to do that. It's going to help. Like, I mean, just for today alone, we're going to be 85 degrees, right?
Holy moly!
Yeah, so
Already?
80
Only April.
Girl, come on. Don't be doing it already.
I wish.
And then like our low was 63, right?
Okay,
So
yeah. So
it's a big
warm.
difference.
Yeah.
So, and that's is only like Lisa was saying, only April. So consider this is going to be June, July, August, right? Where it's going to
be
be
real hot.
105 or 110, and at night it's
Right.
going to be 90.
It'd
I know
be
it's still
maybe-
it's still hot, right? For whatever, 90, 105, 110, it's still hot. But the temperature differences from night to day in keeping a plant cooler is going to be a lot better. So that's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be patient.
Yeah,
patient
I mean,
with your
it's
plants.
not going to grow immediately. It's going to take time, and especially if it's your first rodeo in the gardening stuff, like,
It's
just
fun.
do some research about it. It's cool. It's kind of therapeutic. I like to. I'll go sit out there and put some music on and go pull some weeds and just
Yeah,
chill.
I'm out there watering and pulling weeds. Same thing like Lisa was just saying, playing some good old gangster rap, trying to be cool, all gangster, water in the garden. How about that?
mean-
I got that from my buddy Dave. He told me that. He sent me a little thing today of a little meme thing on Facebook, whatever. And he's like, oh, this guy's out there watering his garden, listening to some old gangsta Tupac, while he's watering his garden. It's like, and I was like, yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. It's
Yeah.
like we get old, we get older, and we're like, yeah. I mean, it's what we like, right? Whatever,
Right,
whatever you like. And when
I've
you get
seen
into
those
gardening,
memes.
it's definitely like Lisa was saying, it's very therapeutic. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's even more fun when you get to enjoy your fruits and labor with your family or your friends and close ones, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I get really enjoy making salsa. It's really what I like doing.
Right.
And I get to enjoy it with my son. He loves eating salsa. His girlfriend loves eating salsa. So it's just something fun that we get to enjoy.
It makes you feel like it makes you feel good, that
Yeah.
you did something, you grew something, you did this on your own. Yeah, last year I had so much zucchini that I gave it away. Like, I was asking friends and family, like, do you want zucchini? Do you want zucchini? Because I had so much of it. It was crazy.
Right.
And they were all, like, so thankful. And then I would make loaves of zucchini bread and was handing that out like crazy,
Oh, yeah.
too. And everybody was loving it. So it made me feel like I had an extra purpose and, just like a feel good moment for sure.
Yep. And also use your noggin. Plant seeds in small containers, like Lisa was saying. A better plants in pots is like the mint, like Lisa was saying. Use those in pots, right? And cucumbers. What's the best tip for cucumbers, Lisa? Well, for anybody who's just starting out and has never grown cucumbers, what is the most important thing that you should do?
Cucumbers or zucchinis, I would recommend
Yeah,
using
zucchini, yeah.
those, like a tomato
a
cage,
trellis?
even a
Okay.
trellis, a tomato cage, any of those. And what I would do, they have these little like curly vines, cucumbers and zucchinis, and I would just take them and carefully wrap them around the trellises and or around a tomato cage, so that way they can start to be off the ground, because then when they're off on the ground they spread more too.
Right.
And then the zucchini or cucumber grows on the ground. So then sometimes that's when they start to get like yellow spots and different things like that. And more bugs can grow on them. So yeah, definitely some kind of trellis, some kind of tomato cage, just to help them get off the ground.
Right.
And they're very viney. So yeah, like I said, just use the little curl. It's just a cute little curly Q like vine thing. And you
Right.
just literally just wrap it around and it will go. So definitely do that.
The other way, like Lisa was talking about on this vine thing, is you can use PVC pipe, like a 1/2 inch size, like a 10-foot long, and then bend it in like in a U, stick them in the ground with some rebar, hold them there, right? Do actually about 3 of these, and then wrap chicken wire over it, and it'll be like a little tunnel
Oh, yeah.
type thing, and let them grow that way. It's another good way to do that. And then any plants that you're growing that require a little more shade, you can put inside this little tunnel thing.
That's true.
So,
Good tip.
or if you just want somewhere to sit down, so you can have like cucumbers on one side and zucchini on the other side, and put a little bench in the center. Whatever the case is, right? would work too. So kind of think about that. And you can like really get lost and looking online at different gardening tips or different gardening sitting
there's
areas.
all different kinds of things.
What's that? Pinterest? Oh my God, there was so much of that stuff on Pinterest. And it was
Yes,
really nice.
I found one tip. I'll share this last tip. Last year, I used plastic forks, and it looked weird because you stick them in the ground. And for my strawberries, since they vine so much, I would put the vine in between the fork pieces.
Oh,
To keep them off the ground, because once the strawberries are on the ground, also, I feel like the bugs come.
right.
And then they can start to get soft and stuff and rot quicker. So that it took a lot of forks though.
Right,
I will just say I got them from the Dollar Tree or whatever. So that way and I just lined them up all over and just had them looping through them. So then that way they were up off the ground, which made a big difference too, because I felt like they grew a little bit bigger. I don't know. It seemed like.
No, that's a good one.
That's my last tip. I will definitely share all of those like pictures and videos.
Good job, sis. It's a good one.
But yeah.
Okay. With that being said, thank you.
Thank
everyone.
you. Happy planting. Happy gardening.
Happy gardening. Keep safe out
If
there.
anybody else has any tips or tricks on gardening,
Or
please
share some pictures with us.
share them with us so we can. We'll share ours. You share yours.
Yeah. We'll enjoy it all. Marley, you want to go do some gardening now? Okay.
She will
Marley,
probably eat them all, but that's okay.
Can you speak? All right.
Marley said she's ready to garden.
She's ready to garden. So share those, and also smile more, be kind, love one another, and share kindness.
Yes.
God bless.
Have a good week, everybody. See you next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you guys for always supporting our show. Please subscribe and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow and rate on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube. 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. That's the number 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and TikTok. That's 2V1 Life Podcast. Also, our Facebook, 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. We hope you guys have a great week and catch the new episode next Wednesday. Bye.